Hey everybody, this is Yusef with special guest Yuzu from his channel, Med Yuzu. For good games no one played, and today we are talking about Dark Sector. First thing is first though. Since Yuzu is a Aussie, oi, Yuzu, which cover did you like the best?
Regional differences within video game box art exists in a very strange place, where their necessity is almost non-existent, and yet so many games have so many box art variants. What is it about an NTSC artwork that could be deemed unmarketable in PAL regions? In Dark Sector's case, the NTSC artwork is bland and likely melts into a store shelf where potential buyers will pass over it without a second thought. The PAL art is a much better metaphor for the game's content. One side is the character's untainted humanity, while the other shows what the virus has done to him. It also avoids showing his face, for which it earns bonus points. I'd buy it, and I did.
Yeah, dude, I agree. NTSC is more boring in general. Comic book cable arm, all the way. So Dark Sector is probably the most notable for being the predecessor to Warframe. The protagonist, CIA Special Ops Hayden gets dropped in a make-believe country called Lasria to fight a world-threatening disease that turns people into rock-skinned lunatics. Hayden is a reluctant protagonist, and it's never clear why he's not all, "Hoorah, Marine, gotta save the world." Throughout the whole story, it is clear that he has been on several missions before, but he didn't get cleared by a psychiatrist before they sent his ass out again. I mean, dude has a splitting headache the moment he gets there, and they give him a leak-proof suit and some janky booster shot to slow down the infection should he get infected. As if he has a chance in hell of survival if that happens. I mean, the booster shot isn't even FDA approved. There's no way it's gonna work. Anyway, his main mission objective is to kill some dude named Mesner, who is the main dude behind the infection. And early in the game, Hayden gets infected by Mesner's bodyguard, dude named Nemesis, and starts to turn to stone. But instead of turning into a lunatic rock monster, his booster shot protects him and only his arm turns metallic. Then, for no explanation, he just manifests a boomerang. Yuzu, can you explain how the the glaive, even appeared?
Mutated white blood cells. Gotta be.
Damn, so you're saying Homeboy's white blood cells are popping out of his body and making weapons and shit? Osmosis Jones, eat your heart out. Anyway, from there on, it's an interesting sci-fi romp with a bunch of crap that comes out of nowhere. That's one of the interesting things about this game. It's bad, and if you're a fanboy of Warframe, then it probably redeems itself, just like a bad Spider-Man game would get leniency from me. But there are so many things here that show effort and laziness at the same time, it's really hard to figure out. Like, for some reason, the protagonist, Hayden, has the most generic create-a-character face that I've ever seen in my life. He literally looks like somebody I just saw earlier at the school when I was dropping off my kids. But then, on the other hand, they introduced a strong black woman named Nadia in the plot that looks pretty good. Like, the main character they're good with the very first time they tried to make him. But Nadia, be sure you get her correct. Do it again. This time, get those lips right. They keep trying to give Hayden depth by giving him a backstory in which he killed some people who were infected. But I mean, holy crap, have you seen what it does to people? A dude in the military has killed for worse reasons, that's for damn sure. I mean, look at these guys coming out of this door. Hell nah, man, just go ahead and kill me. Everyone, including Nadia, knew Hayden was a loser. I was waiting for a flashback the whole time. Lord knows they filled the story up with so many pointless stages. Can I get one flashback stage? How about a random tape recorder I find on the ground? Anything. Dudes be coming out like, you of all people are the last person who gets to tell me how to blah blah blah. But he's a trained killer. All I can do is shoulder shrug until I get a neck cramp. Yuzu, why do you think they're busting his balls so much? Is there some sort of nuance I'm missing here?
This whole scenario seems to be a list of consequences for the CIA's mistakes over the years. Almost everything can be traced back to the CIA's actions in some way. Hayden and Nadia probably got dropped into Tajikistan a while back and accidentally toppled their government. Or maybe Hayden just ran over a bunch of people in his car. You know, CIA stuff.
Maybe Hayden was an intern and messed up all the coffee orders. What the hell? I didn't order a latte. Nice one, Hayden. That's the last time we recruit from a community college. I should probably review the game now. Anyway, like I said before, there were a bunch of throwaway stages with long pauses between waves of characters. I wish they would have given us something to do other than collect bullets and look for upgrades for guns. Maybe Hayden could talk to himself, or maybe someone could call him to conversate and fill out that backstory the devs forgot to put in, right? Right? Anyway, we gotta talk about the glaive. The glaive is like a mix between a boomerang and a huge ninja star. As time goes by, your glaive gets abilities like aftertouch and collecting different elements for puzzle and fighting purposes. An aftertouch allows you to direct the projectile after you have thrown it. It was actually, to me, the most fun mechanic in the game. You just throw it, and time slows down while you steer this spaceship into a bad guy's neck and face. Rusty, what are you doing? Stop growling at people, man. Be nice. However, the glaive was pretty much the only creative thing for Hayden, so it was usually the key in all of the puzzles. It was usually using aftertouch to get an elemental charge and then walking to another place to hit it with the charged glaive. And sometimes the puzzles were a little overboard. Like, there was this one time in a hospital I needed electricity to open a door. And there was a bunch of things in the hospital that provided electricity. Lights, a lit up Coke machine. Nope. Gotta throw the glaive into a room you can't walk into because of an invisible half wall. There was also a section in a subway where I needed to take an ice element and use it on a body of water I couldn't just wade through. I mean, it was a lot of water. But my biggest complaint, bar none, was the bosses. They were done so dirty. The big problem that I had was their signaling was all jacked up, so I wasn't able to use trial and error. Now, ideally, when anyone deals with a boss, they read the boss's patterns, throw things at it to look for reactions, and then form a game plan to implement that, right? These bosses would react to a strike, but really wouldn't be hurt. Like, one of the first bosses was an AI turret dog thing. It had an LED display on its front side, so I threw the glaive at the LED and used aftertouch to hit right on it. It stumbled back, so that means I'm on the right path, right? Wrong. The real answer was to run around from cover to cover and use spare bazooka missiles that were lying around. Now, because the first plan yielded a positive visual result, but no actual damage was given, if you found the bazooka missiles and shot them, you have no reason to believe that this is the right solution as well. And once that is planted in my head, it affects my faith in the programming of the rest of the bosses, and I just look up the answer before I even engage. The weapons were pretty standard. The bad guys were all your standard fare of bad guys, with the added bonus of you having to deal with the infected people, and the military trying to suppress the infection. And sometimes they would even fight themselves, which I thought was interesting. One thing I thought was pretty cool was that you gain the ability to upgrade your guns to have a chemical called Eneron infused into your bullets. And Eneron does nothing to humans, but it poisons the infected. And although it took me a while to figure out why the bad guys would just fall the fuck over while I was still in cover, but it really came in handy against the bad guys that would disappear. We had other stuff too, like double power on the glaive and a shield, which I'm using against this disappearing guy. But that stuff wasn't so cool, I guess. Anyway, that's about all I've got, but I urge all of you to check out Med Yuzu's review 2 right here on YouTube. He's more of a school dude with these reviews, and I got a screw loose, so you don't have to choose. After this vid, be like Zeus and charge over to give him a view. Man, that was bad. Anyway, whatever I didn't cover here, we will probably go through over there, so follow the link if you haven't been there already. And thanks for joining me on this review, Yuzu. I really enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun, Yusef. We should do this again sometime.
And from there, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Oh shit! That was about the scariest shit I've ever seen.